What's up, guys? All right, $9,400 on APDN. Momentum is back. I was just out here getting a little fresh air and giving thanks to the momentum gods for bringing it back. It has been, well, you guys know, I mean, you've been watching me trade. It's been a slow month. So finally today, to get a big win, $9,500, I really needed it. I mean, I'm so grateful for it. Hey, Ryan, did you hear how much I made today? 9,400. Yeah, $9,400. Cha-ching. Finally. I mean, it's been, forgive the mess in my office, please. It's been tough couple weeks, but you know what? That's the way it always goes with trading. It's ups and downs. Sorry for the shaky cam. You know, we have momentum streaks, hot, cold streaks. It's part of being a trader. It's, you know, almost any career. You have periods where things open up and you get some great opportunities, and then you have periods where things slow down a little bit, and trading is no different from that. So today, APDN, it was on my watch list at $6.20. It hit a high of $14.24, up over 200%. Think about that for a second, 200% in one day. I was trading it in two accounts, side by side. I've got some live trading recording of it. But this was straight off the watch list. It met my criteria for having home run potential, but I was a little slow to jump on it. I didn't want to be the first one to jump on it because I wasn't positive it was gonna work, especially considering the last couple days have been a little bit slow with some stocks that I really thought had good potential. And so my very first trade on it was a base hit. I made 550 bucks. Second trade, another base hit, another $500. I worked my way up to 1,500. 2,000, 3,000, slowly building up. It wasn't one big home run trade. It was probably about, I don't know, 15 or so base hits. But I kept going in for base hits because the stock kept setting up good opportunities. And today's a day where I was kind of right on that line of capitalizing on FOMO without falling victim to it. Now, what I really encourage for you guys who are watching this video, check out the links below in my description, because I've got links below where you can register to an upcoming webinar or something like that, where you can learn a little bit more about how I build my watch list every single day. Straight off the watch list at 6:20. Everyone in the chat room knew that it was something I was watching this morning at about 9:15, and right out of the gates, the thing rips up, it squeezes, it takes off, and just like that, so we're off to the races. So a really solid day. I'm gonna show you a recording. I asked students in the chat room how much they made today. So I'll play that in a second for you guys so you can see that. And yeah, today's a day where we locked it up. Big green day, and I encourage you guys, if you're not already learning the strategy, trying to understand how I find these stocks, where I get in, where I get out, register for one of my workshops. You'll learn a lot about how to trade. All right, so let's get into that recap today, break down the entries, the exits. I'll show you some live recordings, and I think this is gonna be a really awesome recap. All right, give me a thumbs up for the big green day, finally, and let's get into it. All right, so recapping today's trades. The first thing that I want to do is, you guys can see my P&L here. Let me pull up my drawing tool so I can draw on my screen. All right, so APDN, that's the big one today. I'm up $3,067. This is in my account that I'm treating as if it's a small account. So this is my kind of small account because I'm only trading with 2,000 shares. That's my rule for the month. And then this is my TD Ameritrade account. I didn't trade with big size in this. I stuck with 2,000 shares. There may have been a trade that I took 3,000, but I was using 1,000 share blocks. So I was being pretty conservative on it. There might have been a trade that was higher than that, but in any case, for the most part, I was pretty conservative on share size and TD. So $5,936 in the TD account, awesome, and $3,000 in my main account. So that puts me up on APDN alone, $9,420, which is a really solid day of momentum. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play this video for you guys that I took this morning. This is on asking students how much you guys made on APDN. So there we go. All right, so I love seeing you guys locking up profit on these types of stocks. Straight off the watch list, pretty simple setup. So Chad, Tulio, 4,100, 1,900, 2,400, 2,300, 1,400 for Andy, Inner Circle student. Nice job, Andy. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you. Tyrone, nice. 11,000 there. Nice. So, I mean, these are students that have learned the strategy, have gone through the classes, understand where to get in, where to get out. And I know that not everyone is going to make money every single day. That's a pretty high standard to set. For those of you guys that locked up profit, those of you guys that, found yourself on the wrong side of momentum today for whatever reason, take this as an opportunity to study, to learn, and try to improve your trading. What we had today was a huge opportunity. I mean, a stock literally going from $6.20 pre-market up to a high of $14.24. Now, we don't have those every single day. This is, in fact, the really first good move we've seen in I don't know, maybe a week or two. I mean, CLVS, you guys had some good opportunities on this one on Friday. For those of you guys who can see my screen right now, from $4 up to $6. That's pretty good. I mean, that's a solid opportunity, but APDN definitely much stronger. So you'll notice I do have a loss here on SNCR. This one is the only one that I took that I was red on, but it was my first trade of the day. So once again, I started the day, and this is for like the 5th day in a row, with a red trade, and I was like, ugh. Again, this is getting frustrating. So why don't we rewind? Let's start with my watch list, how I found these stocks. These were the two that were on the watch list this morning, published it before the bell rang, APDN, SNCR. And then we'll break down the trades, where I got in, where I got out, and I'll go over some of the live trading recordings from this morning. All right, so this morning starts pretty much just like any other day. All right, now I've got my gap scanner here. I'm gonna go to time frame. I'm gonna go to historical date. I'm gonna set it for 9:25 a.m. So at 9:25 a.m. this morning, this is what our gap scanner looked like. Now, what this does is this searches the entire market, the entire US stock market, for stocks that are up more than 5%. Remember that a stock being up more than 5% is by itself a pretty high standard. And so as a result, out of over 10,000 stocks and ETFs, this is how many were up more than 5% this morning. So this is how I find the needle in the haystack, right? I don't have to, it makes it very simple. So I run this scan every single morning. You guys in the chat room have access to it. And this morning, our leading gapper was Brew, B-R-E-W. All right, well, this is a craft beer company, and they just got bought out. And so because the company's been bought out, it's pretty much going to trade sideways. Now, when you see a chart like this, this is not something that gets too many traders excited. Maybe some high frequency traders, but this is something that's just going flat. So there's not a lot of opportunity. You're not going to make money on that. So that one I knew right away, because the catalyst was a buyout, that it wasn't going to be worth trading. All right, so next one down, SNCR. So SNCR is up 41% pre-market. It's $5.68. It's a 28 million share float with 365,000 shares of volume. Now, I have a list of 5 criteria for home run potential. In the webinar, and you guys can click the link in the description to check it out. In the webinar, I break down those 5 criteria. So I'm not going to break them down right now, but I'm just going to briefly go through them. So SNCR, 568, good. 41% gap, good. 28 million share float, a little on the high side. 365,000 shares of pre-market volume, fine. It's got a headline. We've got news on it, but look at the bell. Look at the chart. The bell rings, and this just totally sells off. So my first trade on it, I jumped in at right around 80, and I'll just go to like a 10-second chart just so you can see the zoomed in version of this. I jumped in right after the bell rang. I thought we were going to get a red to green move. We started to get one right here. Oops. Whatever. We started to get a little red to green move right there, and then it failed. So unfortunately, I stopped out right down here. So I was in on this candle right here, and then I was back out right here for a $415 loss. So that was the way I started my day, down $415. And I was red 800 yesterday. So really today, the only thing I wanted was a nice green trade, and to start in the red was a little disappointing. So that was SNCR. And fortunately, I kept a tight stop because this really has only gone lower. So, that's why, that's part of risk management. I will take a trade, but I got to know where, my line in the sand is of if this doesn't work, I'm bailing out. So I bailed out, took the $400 loss. Next trade, APDN. All right, so APDN, this one was on the gap scanner right here. And what I liked about APDN, initially looking at it, I took a look at it and I was like, okay, well, APDN, this is, $6 stock. All right, so the price is fine. It's up 36%, which is good. The float, take a look at that float, 756,000 shares. So that is a tiny float. I mean, that's super, super, super small. I then look at the chart and I realize that it is a recent reverse split. So remember, guys, companies do stock splits all the time, and a reverse split has the effect of reducing the float. All right, so the float goes down. Again, I'm not going to get into the details of that. That's all covered in the webinar. We talk about IPOs, splits, reverse splits, and stuff like that. So anyways, we have the reverse split there, selling off and then popping up here. Now, when I first saw it, I thought 25,000 shares of volume, I can't trust this. We've been in a market where, if I jump into something like this, I mean, there's not enough volume. I can't trust it. So initially I was like, from the watch list, I was like, I like it. It's very interesting. The pre-market high is 620, but it had large spreads. And I just wasn't totally confident that it was gonna work. I was kind of expecting it would fail. So you know what? Today's a day where I came in with really low expectations. And of course, after having a loss of $415, that sort of reaffirmed that, don't expect much today. It's gonna be a tough day. So when APDN suddenly rips right here from 618 up to 660, I was surprised. And my first trade was buying this pullback right here. This was a micro pullback. It hit 660, it then pulls back for a second, it curls up and I'm jumping in there and I'm adding for the break over 7. I take my profit right up here. Now I only took 1,000 shares on my starter, and then I think I was up to 2,000 shares total. So on that trade, I made about $558. It was a small winner. It wasn't anything to be super excited about. And I went from down 415 on the day to up about 150. So $150 a day, again, that's nothing super exciting. So it's now consolidating in this range, and then check this out. Now here, it breaks over 720, and again, now I'm getting back in. I got back in for the break over this high. This is a little pullback, back in here. Then we pop up to a high of 747. Now with small share size, I was able to capture small base hit trades on each one of these breakouts, even though they weren't the biggest breakouts. And I would say that these are setups that if I had been trading with 10 or 15 or 20,000 shares, I probably wouldn't have been able to get in and out as quickly. It would have been more difficult. But with smaller size, I was able to do okay with it. So a couple trades there. And then the next trade right here, I said, guys, I put in this arrow. I said, look at how it's holding support at $6.50. It's tested this level a couple times. So I jumped in right here off of the support level. And look at that. Boom. We break out. And now we hit new highs all the way up to 771. A quick rip up to the highs. We get another pullback and another rip higher. That was 771. Then we got the move up to 8. A squeeze up to a high of 819. And now we're off to the races. So I keep buying these pullbacks. So let me show you a couple clips of my live trading. All right, so an APDN right now, just for what it's worth, it's coming back up a little bit. The halt level, you can see at 1269. It's kind of got, I would say, a gap that if it breaks over 1250, then it starts to look interesting for a move back up to the highs. At this time of day, though, we've got declining volume, and I think the risk of taking a trade through this area would be too high. And you really have to be mindful about not overstaying your welcome. one of the things that I say, and I say this all the time, is that every single day you're doing one of two things. You are either leaving money on the table or you're giving back profit. Which one are you more comfortable doing? I have learned that I feel much better about myself when I leave money on the table. When I give back profit, I walk away feeling a little bummed out. I'm kind of like, oh man, I gave back some profit. That's kind of lame. I was up 9,500. Now I'm up only 8,500. 8,500 would still be a great day, but giving back that profit. Whereas right now, I'm up $9,420 on this stock, and even if it runs to $18 by the end of the day, I'll still feel really good about myself. I locked up profit and I walked away, on kind of my personal high of day. So, just something to kind of be mindful about there in terms of overstaying your welcome. It's really tough because a lot of traders, they want to keep trading, they keep going, and then they give back a little profit, and then they try to make back what they lost, and next thing you know, you can go from being up $9,000 on the day very easily to being back to break even. I mean, I've done that before, and so I've learned from experience not to keep doing that type of stuff. All right, so let's get into the live trading recording here. So now you'll notice that I've got my two accounts here. So at this point, I'm trading both in my Lightspeed account, which I'm trading with max size of 2,000 shares, and in my TD Ameritrade account. Now with TD Ameritrade, I set up this account with the intention of really wanting to see, is this platform good enough for trading with my strategy? Now that it's free commission, I kind of owe it to myself to at least give it a good try. And I'm going to do a full kind of review of TD Ameritrade and show you a bunch of examples, show you my layout and everything else. But my takeaway right now is that it's good. It's not quite as fast as the platform that I use typically, which is Lightspeed or Sterling, but it's not bad. And so if you can, if you use the hotkeys and you get comfortable with the system, I think you can do pretty well with it. Of course, the problem is, going to continue to be around the PDT rule, which is that you can only day trade 3 times a week until you're above $25,000. So, that's a downside, which is why most people would use Sterling with the offshore broker. But I do think that TD Ameritrade is worth using. E-Trade, I've definitely closed my account there and I won't trade there again. But TD's okay. So let's look at this. So right now I've got no position in this stock. I'm flat. You can see right here it says 0 position. So I'm flat there, but I'm holding 310 shares of this at 765, and it's currently halted at 806. All right, so this is what the chart looked like at that time, this chart right here. And what we had was a 1-minute ABCD setup. So what I'm doing as I am kind of lining this up, and actually what I'll do here, let me plug in my my audio and I'll just play what I was saying for you guys so you guys can just hear. All right, hopefully this doesn't come through too loud. I'll start a little soft. Sorry, hang on one second. I also want to hear what I'm saying. Okay. Actually, I wonder if the audio wasn't recording because I don't hear anything coming through. Surprises me. Oh. And then it starts to form an ABCD pattern. So we've got A at the top, right here. B is the bottom. Time is making me a little faster, so that's fine. So we have this move up, we have the pullback. First candle to make a new high, false breakout. It drops back down. And then it starts to form an ABCD pattern. So we've got A at the top, right here. B is the bottom. C is this candle right here. D is A, B, C, D is kind of like right down here. And then that's where we look for the entry is generally the break of this level right here. So we've got the high, the pullback, the pop-up, the pullback, and then we are in right here. So that's where I jumped in. Now, you know, I didn't jump in with 10,000 shares. Obviously, I'm trading with my small account, but okay. So that's the ABCD pattern. I don't know if that was really helpful to do it that way, but in any case, I'll just mute this again. So that was the ABCD pattern. So then it pops up to 71, pulls back, first 1 minute pullback, makes a new high, rips up. So boom, we get that resolution. All right, now we're halted up at 820. So let's watch the resumption from the halt. Okay, so here we have the resumption. So now we've got the high right here up around 889. So I'm watching the level 2. This is the level 2 here. So I put my order for 500 shares. I put it at 90. Boom, I punched the order twice. So now I've got 1,300 shares. My cost basis has moved up to 852. I'm looking for the break on this one over $9. So now we've got a little bit of a flat top, a little bit of resistance there up at the $9 spot. You know, that's makes me a little nervous. Really want to see it break 9. Got my order ready to go for another 500 shares. So let's see what happens on this one. So I think on that one, so yeah, so that was the one where I took a loss. So it does a false breakout right here. You can see it drops down. So this was the first loss that I took. So at this point I was kind of like, well, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. You know, I really don't want to take too many back-to-back losses. Now I'm up only, you know, 1,000 on the day. You know, $1,000 is still a great day, but you know, I want to be a little bit careful here. So it drops down to 8. So let's see, where do I get back in? Oh, so actually I did take 6,000 shares on this one. So now it looks like I'm about to get back in over 85. So there we go. So I'm in and looking for the break over the high right here of 9. Now I press the buy button twice in TD. Bye-bye. I'm in pretty quickly at 74. So nice entry there. I'm in at 74. I've got 1,000 shares here. And look at how quick. Then I flip over and I sell 1,000 shares at 98. I'm like, well, I better take a little profit. This account I'm being a little more conservative. This one I'm being a little more aggressive. I'm looking for that break over 9. I'm getting a little nervous that we kind of have, you know, that tap of 9 and it didn't break the level. So I'm unwinding the position a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do over on TD is I put an order to join the ask. And then I cancel all. So this is me kind of fumbling a little bit on the TD side. You know, I'm kind of like, wait, what, do I have an order? Yeah, I've got one here for 3,000 shares. No, I don't want that. I'm going to have to cancel it. I'm still looking at this 1 minute chart for the break over $9. 932 is a circuit breaker halt. So then here I use the ladder to put orders up on the ask. So now I've got orders up on the ask, but I didn't cancel this one for 3,000 shares. But in any case, I put my orders up on the ask. I've got my hand on the buy button here in light speed to add for the break over 9. Now in light speed, I'm going to do a quick breakout trade over 9. So this is kind of on autopilot over here. I don't have to do anything. There we go. Look at that. So that was the break. Now I'm down to only 900 shares because I put my orders out in advance. So now, you know, TD Ameritrade's kind of on autopilot. I just put my orders out, you know, line them up, and I focus on this account. Now, I don't know if I pressed the buy button and my order didn't go through or what happened there. But in any case, I might have hesitated, or I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. So I take a little bit of profit off the table. I'm holding 370 shares at 874. This, I'm all out. The rest of it. So this trade, we're going to watch it consolidate for a second. All right. So let's look for the next entry. Okay, so now you can see the 1 minute chart pulling back right here. So I'm still watching that $9 spot. So I take a trade here and then I stop out. It doesn't work. I lose 200 bucks. But I'm still watching this 67 spot. It's consolidating right in this area. It looks like it wants to break. I'm back in. I end up selling. It doesn't really work. Kind of disappointing. I'm asking myself, where's the tipping point where this thing just rips? And now it drops back down to the supported $8. So now we've got 3 taps at 8. All right, 3 taps at 8. Now it's starting to rip back up. So I'm back in there at 85. And then I also added in my TD account here at 83. So I'm looking for that break over $9. So we get the break of 9. We kind of double top up here around 918. Again, in the main account, my small account here, from 886 to 920, not bad. Jumped in the TD account, 84. Taking profit up here, 918, 924. Now I'm up, kind of working my way higher. I'm up 1,600 in the main account. I'm up 3,000, now 4,000, because I'm still holding 1,000 shares at 84, right? 426, and now I'm up 4,000 in this account. So I'm just kind of grinding my way higher. My next trade will be a break over 950. So let's watch this for a second. So here I'm about to add. So just right there, I added for the break of 950. We get the quick break, and I'm taking profit on the ask, which is the right thing to do. That's base hit trading in the main account. In the TD account, I'm just kind of letting it ride. I'm just like, I'll just hold this for a little bit. So I'll put my order for 500 shares and take a little profit there at 72, right? So now I've got 500 shares that I'm still holding. The one thing I don't like about TD is the inability to use like Control Z to sell half or Control X to sell half position. But in any case, so we move a little higher. Now we're up to 10.11. And I took a quick breakout trade from 98 to 10, out at 10.11, but still holding 500 shares here at 884. All right, so just basically at this point, grinding my way a little bit higher. We'll get resumption from the halt. Now let's watch this resumption because I have a little bit of disappointment that I didn't add. So watch right here. It hit a high of 1050. It pulls back. The place that I should have added was 1050, right here. Nope, sorry. That's a little it would have been a little early, but right. Well, you know what? So maybe in hindsight, I don't feel too bad because that would have been a tough entry to hit. Now look at that, 1129. So this is the one trade that I kind of missed, and I'm a little bit bummed out about that, but whatever. So I sell another 100 shares, 200 shares, whatever, taking a little more profit off the table. Now this thing is ripping up. 1214 is the next halt level. We've got a little pullback. So watch this. So now I've got a starter position at 38. I'm watching this. See this consolidation? I'm watching it to break over 1150. So this was our little pullback that we had at 12. I'm seeing that resistance at 1150 supported around 11. I stop out take a $200 loss. All right. Hey, that was the right thing to do. If I was still holding now, I'd be down $600-700. So I take the loss there. It is what it is, but I'm still watching it at 1050. It comes back up here, and look at this. So watch this quick breakout. Boom, I'm in. All right, only 1055. Okay, so that was a little bit of a funny break. So I throw an order on the ask, take a little profit. My order's not filling. Now we've got a big spread, 59.36. And I really want to see it break over 12. You know, $12 is the real breakout spot. So now I've got my hand on this buy button over here in TD because I'm thinking if it breaks 12, I'll get a quick breakout trade up to 1238. Got to be a little careful though, because I'm in full size here with 2,000 shares. And this is pretty extended. It's up 165%. There we go. So in this case, I guess I took a little profit there. I will add again. So let's look for the next trade. This is one of those things where trading in two accounts at the same time can become a little overwhelming. So I'm back in with 1,000 shares there for the break of 12. Oh, quick drop. Not what I wanted to see, but I'm going to give it a second. There's 1218. My orders on the ask aren't filling. Needs to break over 1224. This ends up being kind of a little choppy through here, so let's go into the next trade. So now I'm watching this over 1250. I think at this point, I was like, I'm done in this account. I'm up $3,000. I'm not going to overtrade it. Now I'm focusing just on TD with my order to buy over 1250. Boom, boom. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, so I press it there. This is a quick trade looking for a move up to 13. Using the buy market hotkey. There we go. Took a little profit there, got filled at 13, 1306, not bad. Join the ask button. Sold the ask, and I'm all out. Now I've got my order to potentially get back in. Quick breakout trades here. Possible break over 1350, and I'm back in 1350. 1371 would be the next level. I'm looking at the possible join the ask hotkey. My average is 1346. Reducing risk a little bit. Feels like it's a little sluggish going into this halt, so I think that's why I was kind of like, let's see, I'll pull back just a little bit on my share size. There we go, there's 1393. I'm gonna switch to 250 shares, take a little more profit off the table. It's obviously extended, it's up 216%. So now we've got a halt. All right, out of this halt, it resumes. It's about to resume. Halts, remember, are every 5 minutes. So we get the resumption. I have the order ready to buy. Oh, I guess it's sell market. And then right there, I hit the bid and got filled right at 1394. So let's back that up for 1 second. So I'm watching this here. It shows a little weakness, and I say, you know what? I better bail out. So I wasn't able to go short 750 shares. There's no shares available to borrow. Whatever. Would have been nice, but that's fine. So I'm out the 250, and that's where I finished the day. So pretty solid action. I mean, surprising follow through on this one. So let's look at it now. APDN, as of right now, it came back up to a high of 13.12. It's pulled back. Again, volume has declined a bit. If it holds this level, I would watch it possibly over 13.70. If it breaks over 14.24, there may be another opportunity on this for a move up towards 15.16. I mean, it's holding this level pretty nicely. But again, as I said, I don't want to overstay my welcome. I want to make sure I take profit, as we go. And so I think I did a good job on that one. All right, so that'll be it for me today. A nice big green day. Of course, most of it is in the TD account, but that's fine. This is all about training for my small account challenge. So in the TD account, I traded a total of 26,000 shares. And in my main account, I traded a total of 22,000 shares. All right, so 22,000 shares bought, and then 22,000 sold, so 44,000. 22,000 was the buy side. And that's but basically same share size on both sides, even though a couple times I went a little heavier on TD, I traded it a little more sporadically. All right, so that's it for me. I hope this has been helpful. Again, those of you guys who are kind of watching from the sidelines, I would really encourage you to check out some of the links in the description. If you want to learn more, check out one of my next online training sessions. Learn about how I find these stocks each morning, my criteria for home run potential, where I get in, where I get out. This was a pretty fast moving stock. What I do in the training is I kind of slow it down, pull it back. We look at 5-minute time frames, not 10-second or 1 minute. We slow it down a little bit. You understand the pattern, you learn the entry exit signals, and that's where you start to become a more confident trader. All right, so a solid day today here, up 3,000 in the small account, trading with 2,000 shares, which is great training for the small account challenge that will start soon, my next one, and a good day in TD Ameritrade. All right, so that's it for me. As always, questions, comments, leave them below, those of you guys on YouTube, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Hey, did you know every morning I go live to stream my pre-market watch list? Subscribe to the channel, press the alert button, and you'll get the notifications. And if you want to learn more about trading, check out the links in the description, and if you have questions, post them in the comments, because I personally respond to every comment posted on my channel.